y'all see what's on the screen. We got a Monster Hunter Wilds preview. And what better way to bring it to y'all than let them do the talking and just me react, because I don't want to mess anything up. So we let them do the talking. Let's get into it.
Wilds is quickly becoming my most played early access game of 2024. Following an open beta which ate 15 hours of my life last month, I recently visited Capcom headquarters in Osaka, Japan to spend 5 hours with a newer but still unfinished build of this monster hunting action RPG.
Let's see what they
In
got.
an interview, Monster Hunter Wilds director Yuya Takuda stressed that the final game will be more polished still, with special attention paid to the PC version, said to deliver the same level of frame rate improvement. This is a good sign because what I played
Yo,
was
look at that
pretty
hammer.
excellent. Granted, this was
That
just
hammer
a
look
small
fire.
vertical slice and purely single player. Having multiple hunters on screen may have affected the frame rate.
Okay, so I read the blog post by PlayStation earlier today. And this monster in particular, he farts and burps a lot. So you have to bring this thing called deodorant to get the stench off. It's literally called stench.
To say nothing of other portions of the game. But on a base PS5 with graphics set to prioritize resolution, Monster Hunter Wilds was as smooth as glass and felt every bit like the year-devouring behemoth I want it to be.
Okay.
The core game obviously hasn't changed dramatically since the beta, but playing Monster Hunter Wilds
he
in this
is
setting
going
still
crazy with
feels
that
fresh.
hammer.
There was no
Although I'm sorry.
technical
That
association
hammer
this
is
time
so
and
fire,
no
bro.
painfully short leash around my neck. This was just the subject to change opening hours of the game, meaning I had access to more monsters as well as the all-important crafting system. The new and returning monsters are fantastic, one of my new all-time favorites among them. And I'm rapidly warming up to the revised armor skill system. Like Dolphin Duolingo, everything is clicking. I spent most of my session bashing skulls with a hammer, since my true love, Lance, was one of 2 weapons I was advised not to use, since they're due for substantial changes ahead of Monster Hunter Wilds
What was the
release
other
in
one?
February. Capcom is promising big upgrades for Lance and Switch Axe, and Takuda added Insect Glaive and Sword and Shield to that list in an interview, emphasizing control issues and focus mode fiddliness, with many changes informed by beta test feedback. To the delight
Does that mean, okay, so with the Insect Glaive, everybody missed being able to do the keep going when you hit the last hit on the monster where you can keep going. You couldn't do that in the beta. So I'm hoping that they bring that back, because that was so fun and it just helped out, like, to get the mounts. I actually enjoyed that. That for me made me enjoy Insect Glaive. Now, were you gonna do damage up there? Was that the most optimal damage? Heavens no. But that was the most fun. Excuse me. That was the most fun I had with the Insect Glaive. It's in the air.
I'm a main and Monster Hunter producer Ryozo Sugimoto, a lot of people visiting the studio used a hammer. As I blitzed through the story quests, a greatsword made short work of creatures with smaller, less hammer-friendly heads, most notably the new spider monster Lalabarina, whose balletic movements and rose theming have quickly won it a place in my heart. Lalabarina was the monster I hunted the most. Not to grind materials, but because mastering fights and watching my hunt times go down is a big part of enjoying Monster Hunter.
Yes, sir!
This spiny thing moves like nothing else in Monster Hunter, pouring at you with obsidian claws and pirouetting away to launch volleys of paralyzing spores. At once freaky and beautiful, it's an instant classic. Other newcomers include the fire-breathing Q Matrice, who feels like a goth, less dopey version of Yian Kut-Ku. My fellow hammer appreciators will be pleased to hear that it stops just short of presenting its skull on a silver platter.
I like that.
Returning crowd favourite, Congalala, a big pink monkey that farts on you, is in prime condition.
I love that hammer look. Oh my god.
He is perfect. The pinnacle fight for our session was Uthduna, a gargantuan leviathan that flops around like a whale that took up sumo wrestling after beaching in Japan.
Oh my god,
Uthduna
he's
echoes
huge!
the oceanic beauty of Monster Hunter Worlds' Elder Dragon Namiel, crimson scales draped in pearlescent fins.
I ain't gonna lie, I
Uthduno
like
gave
the
me
way
more
he
trouble
looks.
than anything I've encountered in Wilds, including Raydao in the beta. It moves like a waterbed with legs, and many of its
Maybe I was
It
talking.
moves like a
Hold on.
scales draped in pearlescent fins. Uthduno gave me more trouble than anything I've encountered in Wilds,
Oh,
including
so she's pretty
Raydao in
hard.
the beta.
Yo,
It moves
do you, okay, looking at this monster, doesn't the fins remind you of what was the fish name in Shark Tale? And Will Smith was the main character. Who was the girl? The one that got with him after he won.
like a waterbed with legs, and many of its
Not one, but
attacks
after
send
he
disruptive
became the
waves
Shark
splashing
Slayer.
around the arena. A fun way to handle AoE
Lola?
attacks that
Olivia?
makes Worlds' Lunastra look even worse by comparison. It slams and belly flops with quaking impact, the soundtrack swelling perfectly to accentuate it. I thought this would be a forgettable walking hitbox type of monster, but it ended up being my second favourite after La Labarina.
Okay.
The best holiday
I
gifts on Amazon.
I know I don't have I don't have anything. I don't have no YouTube premium. So we just gotta sit there and watch it. So
Shop great deals
how's y'all
now
day going
on
so
Amazon.
far? We just gotta sit here and watch the ad.
$7 Lux Cravings box has the
And I gotta
greatest
watch
value.
this one. I got two
What is this,
unskippable
the
ads back to back. Oh no, I don't. I was finna say, dang,
All of
YouTube,
my
y'all going
hunts felt
crazy on these
better in
ads.
the Monster Hunter Wilds beta for a few reasons, even without that performance bump. For one, Hit Stop is back, baby. I could sense those charged swings.
Yes. Okay. So hit stop makes, if you don't know what hit stop is, think of it like this. When you use a heavier weapon like the greatsword in World, it feels heavy. Like once you do it, it'll feel like it got some to it. And Wilds, although I didn't use the greatsword, I only used like a few weapons. They said it felt floaty, and I was watching video comparisons, and it was kind of, I see the difference comparing the two, but I didn't notice anything when I was playing. But I did use the hammer, but I wasn't really paying attention like that. But hit stop is back, and that's a good thing. You should feel hit stop. These weapons should feel like they're doing some work, especially like the greatsword.
Wings in my palms. It's not Monster Hunter 4 ultimate levels of oomph, but it's there, and that's what matters.
Yep.
Takuda said they were actually encouraged by all the Wilds beta players clamoring for more hit stop feedback after Monster Hunter Worlds' audience apparently hated it, and finishers will be even juicier in the full game. It felt like monsters didn't run away as often as they did in the beta either. Perhaps due to maps having fewer large monsters in town to cause turf wars and clashes. I was able to kill most monsters in 1 or 2 areas, which is about what I would expect. The fact I could actually craft gear to hunt monsters more efficiently helped, and this ended up eating a sizable chunk of my session. The process of crafting or upgrading a weapon is pretty much unchanged from World or Rise so far. A tree of options with crafting and upgrade material requirements, but I get the impression there's much more customization to come. The headliner here is how armor skills are now split between your armor and your weapons, with weapons themselves carrying more offensive and specific skills. Here are a few combinations that stood out to me. Attack boost and guard on a lance, charge up on a hammer and slugger on another hammer, rapid morph on a charge blade, and focus on a
Rapid
greatsword.
morph?
One
What
goal
is
here,
that?
Takuda tells me, is to support the 2-weapon system by tying some skills to your weapon and letting your armor bring the more generalist and defensive skills. You can also add decorations and customize it to your liking so that you find your favorite way of hunting, he says.
Yes, sir.
I specifically asked if our endgame loadouts will
that
match
was
the
fire.
setups we had in World or Rise in terms of skill quantity and level. Takuda says they've added new skills, preserved some iconic ones, and adjusted or compressed a few others, from 5 ranks down to 3 for instance, but didn't share what a max loadout may look like, presumably for spoiler reasons. More needs to be seen here. Early game builds don't allow for such depth.
Yep.
But so far, I like the idea. It's different. It gives weapons more vectors than attack and sharpness and slots. It lets overlooked but comfy defensive skills shine a bit brighter. I just hope the grind to upgrade weapons is a rewarding one, and that max loadouts don't feel neutered. This needs to be more than a reason to justify the 2-weapon system.
Okay. That's what I was
I'm
worried
looking
about.
over my
That was definitely
post-beta
what I was
Monster
worried
Hunter
about.
Wilds wishlist and having a hard time coming up with anything that wasn't noticeably better in this updated build. The UI is still cluttered by unnecessary information, and the item pouch feels a bit worse than it did in recent games. If those are the only negatives I can come up with at this point, we're doing pretty good. Several elements have also
Now, y'all don't know. Y'all probably don't know, but I started with World, okay? So I haven't played any other Monster Hunter games. From what I was told, there is no bad Monster Hunter game. And if that's true, that's magnificent. But hearing what she's saying lets me know, hey, this might be something. This might be something. I'm hoping I'm gonna watch a lot more after this, but I'm pretty excited. This is my most game. This is the most excited I've been for a game in 2025. I'm excited for GTA 5, but I mean GTA 6, but I'm not buying that.
World, the
PS6.
closest direct comparison for Monster Hunter Wilds and Rise, the most recent mainline game. Monster Hunter Wilds' story is starting to come into focus, and it seems surprisingly strong for a series that typically handles its narrative by handing you a sword and a guild card and then pointing at the nearest monster and saying, "Kill that for research." So far, Wilds does a much better job at communicating the importance and purpose of hunters, the dangers some out-of-control monsters present, and the motivations for your allies. It's all ultimately set dressing for
so
a
the
game
story's
where you'll
better, huh?
inevitably research a monster into hamburger
Yo!
meat, so you can then research its offspring into a nice hat. But it is decently compelling set dressing, with cutscenes aplenty. For a notoriously
actually
dense
watch it
series,
this time.
Wilds paces and explains itself pretty well too, which in Monster Hunter terms means it'll probably only be kind of confusing for newer players. Key quests are teed up a bit more like a traditional RPG. New areas and mechanics are introduced gradually, and side quests are clearly labelled in your periphery. "Hey, Hunter," they seem to say. "If you're on the arse end of an arse kicking, try upgrading your gear a bit." The soul and flow of Monster Hunter are unmistakable, but you can tell Capcom has been working on ways to make Wilds more appealing to a broader audience post-World. I have played Monster Hunter Wilds for 20 hours at this point, but exclusively in the worst ways possible. The magic of Monster Hunter is setting your own goals, taking your sweet time getting there,
Oh, that looks so
experimenting with weapons
good.
and builds, and messing around
Okay.
with friends at every opportunity. Rushing through 5 early hours to see and record as much as possible at a press event is just about the worst way to play, and 5 hours is nothing. That is a snack. That is exactly 1% of my Monster Hunter World playtime. Even so, I left this 5-hour preview with renewed hunger and impatience. February 28th, 2025 can't come soon enough. Monster Hunter Wilds continues to look and feel great, and now it actually runs encouraging.
Okay. So, the performance is it's pretty good. That pretty much they're just saying that this game is about to be good and they want to play more. The story seems like it's about to be a lot better, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really watch the story on Worlds because, one, it wasn't skippable, and two, your character didn't say nothing. I don't like it when my custom character doesn't say nothing. I would rather me not like my character personality rather than him not saying anything. I don't like it when he just, and then he put his hand on his shoulder and do all that stuff, and then they just talking and he's just looking at him. Like, I don't know what he's trying to say. So, I'm pretty excited. Like I said, this is the game I want the most in 2025. Yeah, we got GTA 6, but I don't have a PS5 right now, so we'll see what happens. Bro, let me know what y'all thought in the comments, because like I said, I'm excited. I'm happy for Hit Stop. I'm hoping to find out more information on the what am I trying to think about? Oh, on the, like, what changes are gonna make. they said they're gonna, they made more changes and they couldn't use the lance, even though that's her main weapon, which is kind of crazy. But we got more information. This is more previews, just a preview reaction. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all guys today. Like, comment, subscribe. My name's Mario. I'm out of here. Peace.